Good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I'm touching base with you as I always do every day. And today is what? Wait for it. Wait for it. Motivation Monday. And we're talking about the gift of family. The gift of family. I was inspired by my own family. So Motivation Monday, guys. How are you all doing? I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I had an amazing weekend and a week. Gave me some wonderful life lessons along the way between last Sunday and this Sunday was absolutely amazing. Family time, spending time with Adrian in the beginning of the week, and he and his wife and family, and then spending a time with my cousins and my father at the end of the week. So it was beautiful. It was really beautiful to be able to. I was talking to Chris this morning, and I was saying it was interesting. I spent time with my son and hang out with him, and then I spent time with my father at the end of the week. So it was really good, and just having these amazing moments, which are priceless. You cannot put a price on time with family. And so that's what I definitely learned from this week. And I'll be sharing. I did a post on my Patreon page. For those that know, I do have a Patreon page. So if you want to contribute to what I do here, you can click onto the Patreon, and you can do that. So you'll find me under Ron Lewis Photos. But anyway, it's about the morning. It's Monday. It's Monday. Who's the first person in the building? Chrissy gets gold. Chrissy R gets gold. She says, good morning. Then we got Aya in the building. She says, Grand Rising Ryan and everyone at the RLP. Strategize on Sunday, meet the moment on Monday, take it to him on Tuesday. Happy Motivation Monday. There you go. Aya's got it going on. She's got it going on. And she sends some love. Rashawn is in the building. My lovely Rashawn. Rashawn, good morning. She said, good morning, Ron and RLP family. And yes, who else is in the building? Who else is in the building? Look at y'all having conversations with each other. And Paro is in the building. Good morning. She says, Grand Rising RLP family. And then we have the great Chrissy Corner. She says, good morning. And look at you guys. Omar is in the building. Hey, it's Monday. It certainly is. It is Monday. And who else is in the building? Our wonderful Hannah is in the building. Hannah says, good morning, everyone. I'll say, why does he go through all of these hellos and good mornings? It's important to acknowledge your community. I wonder what happens if this community ever becomes thousands of people. If this community ever becomes thousands of people, then we're in trouble. But since we're a close-knit group, I can definitely say good morning. I see here the live G was nice. Chrissy says the family live G was nice. Yeah, sometimes you out there and you're like, I want to share this with my friends. Because you guys are my friends. I mean, even though we're online, we live in different states, we live in different parts of the world, some of us, but we do get to share with each other special moments. And that was a special moment. And I told my cousin, you guys already know how I feel about weddings. I don't go to them. I don't really like weddings. I know that sounds crazy. I like looking at weddings. I love the photos from weddings. I technically, most likely, do not go to a lot of weddings. I just don't. I don't know why I've been that way since I was in my 20s. It has nothing to do with the weddings itself. It's just that I know this sounds kind of cynical because I'm a cynical person. When I was young, I was like, why are people getting married when they're going to get a divorce in 10 years? I know that was so cynical of me, and people get married and they stay together. I have lots of people in my life that are married 30, 40, 50 years, and it's beautiful. But most of my friends who I grew up with, they all got divorced. So I was like, why am I wasting my money? But that was when I was much more selfish at that time. So, but it was really nice to go and just spend time with family. And I told my cousin Liz, I said, I never really go to weddings. She looked and I said, the only reason why I'm here is because I love you. I love you more than anything. And this is the cousin. I have two cousins that kind of like really, well, all of them played a role in my life growing up. But Liz was the one that got on the train. They lived in Queens, on the border of Queens and Long Island, Laurelton. And then my cousin Liz would get on the bus, then get on the train to come to my house, pick my sister and I up, get back on that wonderful A train, which my sister and I call the Animal, and then go all the way back to Queens on the A train to the last stop. Sorry, to East New York, and then take the J train all the way to the last stop. Then go to that bus station called the Q5. We picked up the Q5 and then got on that bus and rode to my cousin's house. Then I said, got off the stop, and then we walked several blocks to get to the house. Liz used to do that all the time for us, especially in the summertime. She would come pick us up and bring us to Queens so that way we could enjoy a little bit of suburban living. Because my neighborhood was so bad growing up. I was at the time my neighborhood was called Bed-Stuy, and before it became Clinton Hill, and then it was Fort Greene, then it went to Clinton Hill. Now it's Clinton Hill, and but yeah, she's the one that, I mean, every other week or almost every week she would get on that train and she would pick me up and pick my sister and I up and bring us to Queens. I mean, think about that commute. Think about that commute. That's a long commute. And those are my cousins. I love my cousins. And then I would be at the house. And then I would be the one early in the morning when I was like 6 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11. I would get up in the morning before everybody and run into their rooms and jump on their beds and say, "It's morning, it's morning." I've always been a morning person. So, right, Hannah said, "That's love." That certainly is. My cousins, they really looked out for me growing up. I was raised in the heart of trouble, and they made their way, especially Liz. Liz made her way. I'll tell you, sometimes it was every week. She made her way on that train to pick us up. And I think about it now as an adult. I was like, holy moly, that's a long trip. That's a long trip. Anyway, yeah. So that's why I would stop the world for her. It didn't matter how much it cost to get there. It didn't matter what. I just had to make sure and that I was there. And she was like surprised. She's like, "Ron, you made it." I say, "Yes, I am here." Hey, Elsie's in the building. Good morning, Ron. A rare live visit on a rare day off. It's so good to see you, Elsie. Elsie's another great friend. I have all these amazing friends that are family. They have become more than friends. You get those friendships that are just like equivalent to family, and Elsie's one of those. It's like my baby sister. And speaking of sisters, I have not had time. I have not had the chance to spend time with my baby sister, my blood baby sister, in a while. They live in North Carolina, and it was so good to see her and spend time with her. And then yesterday morning we had breakfast together and we're talking about I'm talking about my mom, she's talking about her mom, we talking about family, we're talking about all kinds of stuff. And it was just beautiful time to see her and to sit at the table with her during the wedding. And I just my sister, a lot like me, but more, she's better than I am. Everything shows on her face. like both of us wear our expressions and our emotions on our faces. But my sister, if something annoys her, you will know. You will know immediately if something annoys her. So it was really good spending some time there with her. And oh yeah, Omar says those were different times, my friend. The struggles were real growing up. Yeah, I remember my aunt was like, she's like, we have to make sure that we pick up. My aunt used to get in her car and pick us up at school on Fridays, makes to make sure that we did not stay in our neighborhood because when I was a kid, my mother worked at Sears and she used to bring home all these nice clothing that they used to have what's called the Sears store in the office building when she worked at Sears. And so we used to have all these nice clothes. And so all the other kids in the neighborhood would be jealous. And so one day we were all playing and we were in this like fenced off area. And I was in this area and they began to stone me with dirt balls. Well, when my aunt got hold of that information, she was not having it. She got in that car every Friday, picked us up at the school. For those that live in Brooklyn, we went to school at PS 11. She would pick us up at PS 11. The luggage was in the car, and she was spinning us off to Queens. We had this little green circle Samsonite luggage, and we would be in that car. She had a little Mustang. Anyone remember? If my cousins are around, if they're on here, they're like, "Oh wow, that Mustang!" She had a blue Mustang, and she would come and pick us up and take us out because she was like, "You are not stoning my nephew." And so I had the opportunity of being raised in hardcore Brooklyn. Back in the day, I was living next to the drug den and everything else and all kinds of stuff. And then on weekends, I lived in Queens with my cousins, especially during the summer months. And so I had a little bit of suburban life and I had a little bit of city life. And I think that's what's giving me the incredible balance that I had growing up. Was he was like, "Wow, are you from you don't act like a city kid," and I am a city kid, and but I also was raised in the suburbs. So, anyways, that's a little bit background on who I am on this wonderful Monday morning. But it was just, when you spend time with family, it takes you down memory lane, right? That's what's beautiful about family time. And let me see what you guys are saying in here. Hey, Bryson's in the building. Bryson is in the building. Good morning, Mr. B. Bry is in the building. Let's see here. Okay, I see all the good mornings. I see good mornings. Bryson he says, I'm glad you had fun at the wedding and you and Chad been on live last night. Yes, I was on live with my cousin Chad yesterday, and we were talking politics, something we both love, especially me. I can talk politics every day, all day. And we ended up talking for about an hour and a half online last night because I was just really letting them know I was home safe. Because the family left early yesterday. Some left on the night after the wedding. And then my sister and her husband and a bunch of folks, they left, and my cousins, they left on yesterday morning. But you know how I roll. I said, wait a minute, I'm in the Rust Belt state, and I am in the Lehigh Valley, MPA, excuse me, the town called Bethlehem. And I said, I'm going to make the most of it. So I was originally scheduled to leave early in the morning, but I was like, wait a minute, why am I rushing? I am here in Bethlehem. And that was a joke to that. But I mean, I was like, I'm here in Bethlehem. Why not stay and get to know the people? And so I ended up staying in Bethlehem and I did my morning 4-mile walk. I got up early. I saw my sister off, give her a big hug and say goodbye to she and her husband. And then after that, I took off and start walking the bridges and the streets of Bethlehem. And for those that have never been to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, it is a city, a small little city, a little small, I call it a big town of many, many bridges and railroad tracks. I have never seen a city with so many railroad tracks. And I found out that Bethlehem is a railroad town. And there was all these trains come through, the steelworking plants. I think that was a steelworking plant. It was this huge, huge, like rusted. I think it was a steel mill. I don't even know what it was, but it was huge, and it looked like something from what do you call it, Mad Max. It was that kind of mill, old rusted and rusty reds and oranges over the horizon of the city, of the town. And so I said, let me go for a walk. That's my thing. And I've been creating on my Etsy account. My Etsy account is my store. I kind of like restructured it in August and redid it. And so I made it more Americana. So it has lots of railroad stuff and horses and small town America photos in this store. It's on my Etsy store. Maybe I should show you at some point. But sticking with the story. And so I said, you know what? Since it's a railroad town, let me walk around and see what they got to offer. And I got lucky, but not only lucky once, I got lucky twice. I ended up walking, and then I woke up. I said, "Oh, maybe I should go across the street and check out that side of the bridge." Go on that side of the street. I had to walk all the way down and come around and got on the bridge. Then I looked out and I saw this old locomotive in the distance. So I used my zoom lens and took photos. And I was taking pictures of the tracks and all that stuff. And then I said, okay, now I'm going to move over and take pictures of the bridge, the railroad bridge crossing the river. I think it's called the Lehigh River. Crossing the river. And I'm walking across my bridge to take pictures of that bridge. And I'm just moving across, walking, strolling, photographing. And then next thing you know, I hear, woo, woo, woo. And I said, wait a minute. The train is coming. The train is coming. And I'm running back down to where I was before. And the train is coming with all of its cargo. And I got the most beautiful photos for my store, really for myself, but for my store as well. And the beautiful locomotive coming in and all of the trailing of the come on the bridge so you can see the length of the train and the distance of that. The cars had to be a mile long, and it was so beautiful to get those shots, right? So I'm like on cloud nine. I got my railroad shots. So that's everywhere I go in America. I seem to be taking these train shots. So then I say, okay, let me go back to taking pictures of the bridge. And then I keep going. Then I finish taking pictures of the bridge. And then I am now moving towards the other side of the bridge I'm on. And guess what I hear in the distance? The squeaking of the wheels of a train. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm lucky. There's a train coming across the bridge. So I run across the bridge, my bridge that I was on, and got back to where I was and took the photos of the bridge, the train coming across the bridge, and I just start clicking away. I was like, how awesome is that? That not only did I get one train, I got two trains coming across the bridge, along the tracks, and such a great vantage point. Can't wait to share it with you guys. But the photos came out. I sent some of the photos to my sister this morning. I said, can you believe it? Can you believe it? And so I should have played lotto yesterday. The lady I got to town too late, but the lady said, "You should play lotto," because she was jogging along and she saw me taking the photos, and then she came back and we start talking, and I said, "I'm taking pictures for photos for my Etsy store." She go, "Oh my gosh, you have an Etsy store," and then we start talking about the Etsy store. Should I bring that up? Hold on, let me see if I can bring my Etsy store up for you guys. But it was so cool to be able to talk. And she was like, "I'm moving, and I would love photos of Bethlehem, and these look like they would be awesome photos to remember my town." So we switched, and I gave her my information and everything. And I mean, this is why I love traveling is because you never know. Always leave out the hotel or I leave for a trip and I say, the old saying is, Jesus, take the wheel. It's like, take the wheel and lead me to the people I need to meet and connect with and have conversations with. And I really had a great time in Bethlehem. I went back to my hotel room, took a shower, relaxed, and extended my time there a little bit. A couple of they gave me a little about half hour extra, 35 minutes extra. And then I was able to hang out in the lobby because my bus ride back to New York City was at 5 o'clock. So I was able to edit the photos and stuff. It felt so good. You know, it is really good to get away. So anyway, what did you guys do this weekend? I'm curious. What did you guys do this weekend? Anyone do anything special? If you have, put it in the chat. And also, while we're here, make sure if you are first time here, like, subscribe, and share. And but we definitely gonna talk some motivation Monday in a moment and get to our motivation lesson for today. Hopefully, it will keep you lit for the week as you motivate others as well. So, hopefully, we'll get that all done. And just one political statement about what's going on. So, there was nothing much going on the campaign for, say, this weekend. Most of everyone was taking a break. However, everyone's back on the road today. And I think Kamala Harris is back on the road on Wednesday. And as you know in the news, if you have not heard it this morning, that Trump is trying to back out of the September 10th debate. Y'all knew this was coming. Y'all knew this was coming. Trump is trying to back out of the September 10th debate. And he knows he cannot beat Kamala. He is terrified. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that news? Do you have an LLC in order to have an Etsy store? No, I do not believe so. I believe you can just set it up. I don't think you need an LLC for an Etsy store because did I have an LLC when I started my Etsy store? I don't remember. I don't think you need it. But double check me if anyone knows the information. Elsie says she had the gift of rest. Precious. Yes. I love that about traveling too, says Chrissy. You really get to meet those one or two people that are great additions to your life. You never know who you're going to meet when you travel. I tell people all the time, travel, travel, travel. It is so worth it. And hey, Derek is in the building. Good morning, Derek. And also Fifi's in the building. Good morning. Dr. Tachi's in the building. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. So good to see y'all here. Charlene's in the building. I see Charlene. I see you, Charlene. Jazzy's in the building as well. Yes. Yes. Yes, indeed. So I'm going to try to bring this up for you guys. And this is because you know what? Since I'm on it, I'm out to just share it, right? That's the beauty of being online. We can share what we want. We can take our time. We don't have to rush through the show or the community conversation. We do not have to do that. And welcome back. Let me see here. Let me go to my page. Oh, here we go. There we go. There's my page. And I'm gonna bring it up. Okay, here we go. So this is my page. Let me pop this up here. Share the screen with you. Ba, ba, ba. Okay, here we go. So yeah, this is my page on Etsy. So you'll see it says Ron Lewis photos all together as one word. And so on it is all these photos of horses and their frames so people can see them, and they do downloads. So at one time I had this page, people had to order, and then I created it, and then I sent it out to them. And I was like, this is quite a lot of work, especially if you're traveling and you're in the field. You cannot expedite someone's work if they order it. But there's a place for the commission folks as well. So if they want to do commission work, they can do it too. Let me pop this off, Dr. Tashi. But so this is the page. And so you'll see stuff like, here's something I think I can share with you guys. And so these are all downloads. They do have a little watermark on the end, like a poster, because they're pretty much like download posters versus download. And you can go and download them onto download them onto a disk, take them to any place, and you can print them up to basically 16 by say 14 by 16 by 20s. So which is a great deal. Think about it. I mean, so you can download this. And this is all my Americana stuff, but this is where I have this kind of my work. And but I was like, because Etsy is also a store for those that are trying to get onto Etsy and use the store on Etsy. It's driven by, should I say, people that don't want to spend a lot of money. But what it also does is that it gives you exposure. So if you're a photographer and you want to get exposure to your work and maybe sell some things along the way, then Etsy is a good plot, because like these are like 125 a download. And so people download them, and I had a woman from Brazil, she downloaded it, and it was easy. She just paid for it, download it, money goes into your account, and then you're done. You don't have to frame it or anything. However, there are some of these that I still frame and do. But yeah, so this is a lot of Americana stuff. And that's where we are. So this is my Etsy store, Ron Lewis photos. I think I just might as well share it with you guys. And it just has a lot of my work. That is my everyday travels. It's a lot of travels, Americana. Lately, it's been a lot about Americana, my trains and stuff like that. Like this is a locomotive. Like, let me see if I can pop that, link that closer. There we go. So it's a locomotive. It's from when I was in North Carolina last year. So yeah, so this is it. This is what I do, and this is how we make money when you're sleeping. How you have to do the work. You gotta put it together. But it was so nice because yesterday I was on the phone. I started texting with Gwendolyn, and I'm gonna put this out. Hold on a second. I was talking to Gwendolyn, and I was saying, Gwendolyn, we gotta get back to work and make some money. And as soon as I said it, my Etsy store said, cha-ching. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, someone bought 2 photos while I'm on the bus traveling back to New York. Someone bought photos, and I was like so excited because I was like, I said, I just told Gwen, I just told you about making money, and guess what happened? Someone bought 2 photos. Cha-ching, $200 in the wallet. I'm excited. Again, I used to try to sell my large works on Etsy. Did not sell because obviously like I said, people on Etsy are looking for lower price merchandise. Yeah, Chrissy says you manifested that. I said, you know what? I am going to get, and I was just saying, I said yesterday I need to commit myself to every morning and manifesting my dreams. I need to get up every morning, all day, and manifest my dreams like I used to do. I kind of like got away from it, got lazy with it. And I was yesterday, I said, I need to manifest my dreams. And as I was thinking it, I said it. And next thing you know, cha-ching, I was like, holy moly. If there's no truth in that, I mean, there's truth to manifesting your dreams. There's truth to it. So, okay, before we go into our lesson, there's something else I want to share with you. I don't usually announce it early, but I'm going to announce it early this week. We have a special guest coming on Wednesday. Hey, Jamel. Jamel reminded me of this by seeing him in the building. Jamel Shabazz is in the building. Elise is in the building. So we have a special guest coming on this Wednesday. And let me put this up here so that way you will know. Again, I'm going to pop this screen up so you can see. So we have a special guest coming on. It's Russell Frederick. He will be our guest on Wednesday. I'm so excited about finally connecting with Russell. An amazing story. The community has been really supporting and encouraging him, but it's going to be happening on this Wednesday. So if you want, you can click on your YouTube and hit notifications, like it says, notify me. Click on notify me, and you'll have it on your calendar, and it'll automatically send it to you. So he's going to be on our show in our community this Wednesday. I cannot wait. Beautiful brother. We talked on the phone on Friday before I left to go to Pennsylvania, and we just chatted up. And he's such a great guy with an amazing story. And so looking forward for him to share it with you. Oh, look who's in the building. Look who's in the building. Sunny Boy's in the building. He says manifest equals stop procrastinating and make it happen. Spoken like a true Adrian. Mm. I had a great time with my son over here. Anyway, I had to put that in there. Jamel says some thanks for Jamel says thanks for making it happen. Yes, yes, it's gonna be beautiful. He is such a great photographer and has done so much, so many. His portfolio is so beautiful. Okay, it is now time. It is 10:35. So let's get into our Motivation Monday. Okay, so let's pop this screen on. Here we go. And let me see if I can do this. Oh, ooh, that comes out big. Yeah, there we go. I say I'm gonna start doing this straight from my Patreon page. And again, like I said, for those that are interested in my Patreon page, you're more than welcome to join it. It is where this community is supported by the Patreon folks. I could not do what I do here if it wasn't for my Patreon community. They pay the bills. The Patreon folks pay the bills. Believe me or not, it costs money to be on here every day. We gotta pay for StreamYard, you gotta pay for technology, you gotta pay for all of the stuff, graphics, Canva, all that stuff. It is my Patreon community that supports me. So every Monday, Tuesdays, I send out, for the most part, this stuff is in the Patreon community. So they get a full, you want to call it article or statements or things that are happening because they are the ones that make this happen. And so I am excited about what our Patreon community has allowed me to do. I would not be here if it wasn't for them. There are so many different contributors, some that contribute lots of money. I consider a lot, and then some that contribute $5 a month and $3 a month and $4 and $10 a month, whatever they do, $25 a month. And it really does help to support what I do here online. So if you want to become a Patreon member, just go into my profile. You can click on it in YouTube. It will say Patreon right there. Click on that. It will take you. You can become a Patreon supporter. Okay, let's go for it. Today's Motivation Monday is the gift of family. And it says, you don't choose your family, they are God's gift to you, as you are to them, says Desmond Tutu. Family is a unique and profound aspect of our lives. Unlike friends or colleagues, we don't get to choose our family members. They are given to us and we to them as part of a divine plan. This quote by Desmond Tutu beautifully encapsulates the idea that family is a gift, a blessing that comes with its own set of challenges and joys. Now, I'm going to put a little, maybe a clause in here because not everyone has a good family. And what I mean by good family, I'm talking about, some families are abusive, some families are challenging. I mean, I'm talking about like off the chart because no one has a perfect family. All families, like I said, challenges and joys. That's the beauty of family. It's challenges and joy, right? Lots of it. I often say some of my missing hair is because of Adrian. No, no, just kidding. Just kidding, Sonny Boy. But the beauty and not all you don't have to have blood to make you family. You could have spiritual families. You could have families, people adopt people, adopt children or adopt parents, adopt grandparents or parents. There's all kinds of family structures. Family has many interpretations of how those families are created, right? So it's not that old tradition of mom and dad give birth and have a child, and that's family. Some of my closest friends are somewhat closer to me than my blood family. And then some you get the gift of being added to your family, right? Like Adrian's not my blood son. He wasn't given birth. I didn't have anything to do with that. But he is my son. There's no one probably on earth that knows me like he knows me. There is no one on earth because I've been in his life since he was a teenager and he's been in my life for decades. And I've been his pop for these many years. And families are interesting because they're created in so many different ways. So many different ways. One of the things I love about families, I'm going to roll this up. Number one, the unconditional love and support. Family is often the first place where we experience unconditional love and support. Despite our flaws and mistakes, our family members are there to lift us up, guide us, and celebrate our successes. This unwavering support forms the foundation of our emotional well being. And I can't tell you how family has. Look, I remember I just told you, my cousin used to get on the train and pick us up and drag us all not drag us, but I'm sure for her sometimes it was a drag to bring us out to Queens every weekend in the summertime. That's unconditional love. I'm sure her mother told her to do it, and she was like, "Mom, do I have to go to Brooklyn again?" But she did it, and we had so much fun. This time, I had a full week with my family. Adrian, his wife, my brother, his wife. Then I ended with my cousins and my father. I haven't spent time with my biological father in a couple of years. And it was so good to see him and exchange conversation and talk and catch up. And it was just beautiful. I saw my little cousins. They all grown up. Some of them they're adults. They have boyfriends and all the other stuff. And they just say, "Cousin Ron, hey, cousin Ron." I mean, it's just you don't miss a beat in your family, right? Family is precious. It's unconditional love. Let's go to the next one. Shared history and memories. Families share a unique history and create memories that bind them together. These shared experiences, whether joyful or challenging, create a sense of belonging and continuity. They remind us of where we come from and shape who we are. Man, I mean, is that right? I mean, really? I mean, that is like we have shared history. There are very few people in the world. Like I said about like Adrian. Adrian knows we were all hanging out and we were at this marketplace and we sometimes we would just say things and we would just remember we would just start laughing because he would know what's going to come out of my mouth or he would know what was going to intrigue me because there's certain people that are family. They know you inside out. They know you inside and out. They can almost predict where you're going to move, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Not because they're so wise, but you have shared history. You have shared memories. You can always recall and say, I remember when. Like I remember when, and I'm using Adrian a lot today because I had such a great time with him last week. I remember when he came running back to the house. He came to the home and said, "Pop, I met my wife. I met my wife." And I was like, "Oh, what is he talking about?" He was young. And he's talking about he met his wife. And guess what? He did. He's married to her to this day. Right? And so we have that memory. That's a memory. That's a memory that no one else has but the two of us. Him running through the door and saying, I met my wife. No one else had that moment. We had that moment. And you have had those moments with your kids and your family, your moms, your dads, your grandparents. Every one of us has special memories. My aunt used to keep me calm. My mother used to drive me crazy when I was a kid. We didn't have the best relationship when I was a kid. And my aunt would be there to rescue me, Chad's mom. I would say, Auntie, I can't take it. I can't live in this house any longer. I can't take it. Can I come live with you? She goes, No, you can't come live with me. You guys stay there, stick it out, but let me teach you some things. We have that memory. My aunt and I talk about so many things. I think sometimes maybe her kids can be probably they could probably get a little jealous that she and I have a bond that no one else has. We could talk about we can get on the phone and talk for hours, my aunt and I. So we have shared history. We have shared memories. Next, growth and learning. Let me get that out of the way. There we go. Being part of a family teaches us valuable life lessons. We learn about empathy, patience, forgiveness, and resilience. Family dynamics can be complex. By navigating these relationships, helps us grow as individuals and understanding the importance of compromise and understanding. I often feel sorry, and I might be shouldn't, but I do in some cases. Some of my friends who are only children, they're like the only child, And if they don't have a relationship with their parents, it's even worse and more tragic. And if they, don't see confutation or discord within the family and learning how to figure out how to come to peaceful means when you are in a disagreement with someone. What's beautiful about having parents, both parents, not saying that you have to have both parents living in the house and both parents or whatever. Some people are like, oh, you gotta have a two-parent home. The child's gonna be a mess. Well, I was raised by a single parent. And most people today are raised by single parents in the USA. But what's beautiful for those that have the gift of mommy and daddy, or mama and daddy, 'cause that's the world we live in today, they get to see those adults work out their issues and their problems. And then when they have a spouse, they're able to reason and work it out too, because they have examples. Or they have brothers and sisters, so they have to learn how to navigate each brother, each sister, because every sibling is different. My sister Virgo, who I spent time with this weekend, I love her. I love my other sister too, but I love my Virgo. She's my baby sister. She's the baby. And we are a lot alike. We weren't even raised in the same house. But she and I are a lot alike. And because we had to navigate those relationships. We had to navigate how we stay close by being separate. You learn so much in being in a family. I see you guys are commenting. I see happy Monday. Oh, I see all the hellos. Okay. I was good in bringing the chat. Agent says, I was good at bringing the challenges. Yes, he was. But he's my heart. Adrian is my heart. My I told my sister yesterday, I said, the will has to get all done. And, I was talking about my will and getting my will done. She was like, I gotta get my will done too. And we were just talking about getting the wills done and stuff. And I said, Adrian knows exactly what needs to happen. And she was like, oh yeah, Adrian. Oh, I remember Adrian. How's he doing? I said, so don't give him a hard time. When I'm gone, he knows what I want. But again, that's the importance of family. You can have those great discussions. Here's another one. Diverse perspectives. Each family member brings their perspective, strengths, and weaknesses to the table. These diversities enriches our lives and broadens our horizons. It teaches us to appreciate differences and work together despite them. How many times that I had to navigate with my sister, who I grew up with in the same house, or my mother, or my father, and then being adopted by a pastor as his son and became part of their family, who looked out for me every day in my high school teenage years. Families are created from, man, I think about that. I mean, his mom became my grandma. His daughter became my sister. My pastor's daughter became my sister because he considered me his son. And that moment in life could never be replicated. But I had to navigate so many types of relationships. People say, Ron, you act like I'm always accused of being, some of my friends say, you should be a diplomat. You know the art of diplomacy. You should have worked for the UN. I get that a lot. Well, think about it. I had two families. I had a family my biological family, and then I had a family that adopted me. And so I learned to navigate relationships, and it paid off. I think I'm pretty good at it. It's one of my superpowers because of family. Family, diverse perspectives, understanding people, understanding why your siblings think the way they think, why they make you angry, why they piss you off, or why they bring you joy. That's the beauty. Number 5, a source of inspiration. Family members often inspire us to be better versions of ourselves, whether it's a parent's dedication, a sibling's achievements, or a grandparent's wisdom. These influences shape our aspirations and motivate us to strive for greatness. Jazzy says, I could see you working as a diplomat. It's my family. It's my family that created the environment to make that happen. But the source of inspiration, I have to tell you, Adrian, when we were together hanging out at the house in South Carolina this past week, I just sat there and he inspired me in so many ways. I just sat there and watched him. He and Nancy, his wife, his beautiful wife, I love her to pieces. I love her. And I watched how they were navigating and their conversation, and then I watched my, brother Kevin and his wife Sylvia, and how they were interacting and how they were talking and sharing, and how they looked out for each other and how they were supporting one another, and I was so inspired by them. Look, they inspired this whole Motivation Monday, right? They inspired this Motivation Monday. I would not be talking to you about this subject today if it wasn't for them. And then part 2 was like affirmation, when I spent time with my cousins and my father and my sister. It's a beautiful thing. A source of inspiration. Your family, if you're lucky to have it. And I have to say that because not everyone has that. You can't assume that everyone has that. But we who have it, it's treasure. It's treasure. Treasure the time you have with your family. Last but not least, we're on time here. A reciprocal gift. Just as our family is a gift to us, we are a gift to them. Our presence, love, and contributions add value to the family unit. We have the opportunity to support, inspire, and uplift our family members, creating a cycle of mutual care and respect. So, guys, you are just as important to your family as they are to you. And that was really beautiful. I mean, I tell you, I had a moment, like I said, I had the munchies yesterday. It was I'm sorry, Saturday night after the wedding, where everyone's having they're all at one of the family members' room, and they're all having a party till like 1 o'clock in the morning. But when I left that wedding, I said, I'm going to my room to go to bed. I was exhausted because I got up early. However, I was laying down and I said, I have the munchies. Not that I did anything. There was no reason to have the munchies. Like some people go in the hotel room and they get the munchies. But I had the munchies. And so I go downstairs to the lobby area where they have all these refreshment stuff. And I get these 2 bags of, which I shouldn't have had. I know I shouldn't have them, but I had 2 bags of Cheetos. I love Cheetos and I love cheese zits. Anything that has cheese in it, I am addicted to it. So anyway, that's another story for another day. But I had these 2 bags of Cheez-Its, and my cousin's son came down, my second cousin came down, and he and my other cousin came down. She was with him, and they're hanging out to get something because they obviously had the munchies too. And so I'm at the register to pay for everything, and they were like, "No, no, 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 we're paying for this. I got this, cuz I got this, cuz I got this, cousin Ron." I- You know, even with not seeing your family as much, I don't see my family as much as I want to see them. And I'm learning as now that I have now turned 60 that it is so important for these family time moments that when they come along, you gotta snatch them and hold on to them, and you gotta make it happen. Like you can always say, I'm busy, I could do this, I'm traveling here, this is happening, I got this job I need to do, I need, we all have those excuses. Adrian said, "Hey, Pop, you want to come down to South Carolina?" My brain said, at first, my brain was like, I don't know. Maybe I can't afford it. Maybe I should be at home. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. And then I said, wait a minute. How often do I get to spend that kind of time with Adrian? We haven't done that in years. Years. It was a no-brainer after the thought. I was like, of course I'm coming down. Let's make it happen. I got on it and made the flight immediately. Or with my cousin's wedding. I was like, "Oh, maybe, I'm just coming back from South Carolina. I don't know if I wanna get on the bus and travel all out there, yada, yada, yada." And I was like, "No, wait a minute. This is the first time that all of us are gonna be together. I don't care how much it costs. I'm going to be there. We are going to be there because that's my family." So, guys, I hope that these words encourage you today, motivate you to hug your family members more, to kiss them more, to love them more. In a lot of cases, allow them to love you. Can I say that? Can I repeat that again? I'm probably gonna repeat it twice. Because sometimes a lot of us, especially A personality types, we who like to stay busy, we like to conquer the world, and we like to do things for others versus allowing people to do things for you. How about this thought? Allow yourself to be loved by your family. Allow yourself to be loved, to be appreciated, to be cared for by your family. Not a lot of people have that. And if your family wants to spend time with you and they say, can we spend time with you? Make the time. The rewards are beyond measure. I walked away from time with Adrian and Nancy and Kevin and Sylvia. I got on that plane so full, so full. My spirit was so full. My being was so full. Allow people to love you. We're so used to loving others and being there for our families and being there, especially if you're the older person, you're the matriarch of the family, or you're the person that kind of like gives all the love and appreciation to everyone. Allow your family to love you. You deserve it. You are important. You are worth it to be loved. Okay, guys? So that's it. That is it. I see what you guys are saying. Let me see what you guys are saying before I get off of here. I see Chrissy knows me about my Cheez-Its. That's right. Dr. Ty said, "That was nice to see." It was so funny. My father was sitting next to me at the wedding, and not that all the other kids are not his favorite, but Liz is one of his favorite nieces. And my dad, just as she was doing her vows or coming like near my cousin gave her away to her husband, my father just started crying like a baby because Liz is like was everything to him when we were growing up as kids. And he was watching her getting married, and he just broke down and cried. And it was a unique moment because I've never held my father. I never held my father as he cries. Was that was a new frontier for me. I literally reached over, like I reached over and just held him. Put my arm around him, gave him a little, you know, man. So I had family time in the beginning of the week and it closed with family time at the end of the week. And both of them left me so full of life. Felicia says, "You are having church today." Yeah, and my parents are in their 80s, and I am blessed to still have them. A lot of folks don't have them. I still have my auntie. She's in her 80s, and a lot of people don't have their loving aunts. So I consider myself so blessed, so blessed. My cup runneth over, as they say. Kelly says, "Yes, I needed this family trip in a couple of weeks. Life is so short, always working while listening." Yeah, we got to love our families. Lee said, "That's a true blessing." Elise says again, "That's beautiful." Um, Chrissy says, "Tomorrow is not promised, so it's a blessing to stay connected while you can." That's right. We're not all going to be here forever. We're not going to be here forever. Anthony says, "This reminds me of those reach outs and touch someone commercials from back in the day." Yes, yes. Hannah says, "That's why we went to Knoxville recently, even though we recently returned from Chicago and we're tired." Yep. Family, man. Family means everything. So enjoy your families, guys. I hope, like again, I hope this motivates you to love your family more, hug your kids more. No matter how old they get, they're still your kids. I looked at my father was giving me instructions, and I wanted to say, "You do know I'm 60 years old." But something that my cousin said, Chad said, he says, "But in his eyes, he has 26 years more years of wisdom that he can give you." He's 26 years that my father had me when I was 20, when he was 26. And he has 26 years ahead of me still to give me insight about things I do not know, or maybe just starting to get to know. You know, and I thought about Adrian. I said, there was a time when I said, "Oh, Adrian doesn't need me any longer. Adrian doesn't need me any longer. He's grown up." I mean, sometimes parents or people that step in and to do those, to be that, you think you're not needed as much as you used to be when they were younger. And I found out I'm just as important today as I was then. So guys, love your family, love them much, and you will be blessed for it. Okay, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this. If you enjoyed this, if you got something out of this, make sure you share this. Also, it will be in replay on Indie Soup this evening, so you can also join into Indie Soup with Dr. Tachi and her platform. which we're so excited to have now 17, more than 17,000 subscribers, more than 17,000 subscribers. And so this will be on repeat there. And I see here, enjoy your families and oh, Chrissy says, enjoy your families and your extended families. And Omar says, thanks for sharing your experience with us, Ron. Right? Elsie, I love you too. I love you, Elsie. Okay, guys, I'm out. I'm going to let you guys say goodbye to each other and all that good stuff while the music is going. But, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tip Tuesday, and we're going to be talking about smartphones. Smartphones, some tips on smartphones tomorrow. So we'll be doing that. Okay, guys. See ya. Have a great, wonderful Monday and be motivated to love your family. I'm out.